Okay, so here's how we're going to talk about, again, in a little more detail, how to medically underwrite if someone is going to be critical period coverage. So in the last couple videos, you learned what the difference was between critical period coverage and a full payout. You learned a little bit about how to get started with that, but let's dive in a little bit more. So you have confirmed, based off their age and their health, that your client is going to be looking at critical period coverage. So again, this is a concept, it's not a product. So the products that we use to write this is going to be either Mutual of Omaha, Living Promise, American Amicable, Dignity Solutions, Americo, Eagle Select, etc. So these are the 5 that we want to look at. Make sure you look at who you're contracted with first, and then we're going to choose down the list. Now, this is in order. So you want to look at Mutual of Omaha, Living Promise first. And this is pretty much based on price, but also just contracting and carriers and just what we recommend is the best one to start with. Okay. So you've decided that. Now, let's say, again, you want to stick with the 10% rule. So your client is paying $100 or $1,000 a month for their mortgage. 10% of that is $100. So what we're going to do is we're going to first look at what if they're going to medically qualify for Living Promise. So we're going to go to our underwriting cheat sheet, and you do that by going to sfgquotes.com. You're going to scroll down. You're going to go to underwriting cheat sheet, and it's going to pull up here. Now, this is what I find to be the best way to do this. It's up to you on how you want to do it, but this is what I find. So on the top, you've got carriers. On the side, you've got ailments. So let's say they had a heart attack 3 years ago. So you're going to look, you're going to scroll over here. You're going to find a Mutual of Omaha Living Promise, which is right here, column R. So you're going to look there, and then you're going to scroll down. So you're going to see that they had a heart attack 3 years ago. You're going to scroll down, and you're going to look and find heart attack. That's going to be in this list. There it goes, heart attack, heart disease. So 88, we look over here under R, and it says if it was over 2 years ago, they're going to be approved by Mutual of Omaha Living Promise. So that's a good sign. That means they'll be approved. Okay. Let's say that they also have diabetes. Okay. They have diabetes. They are not on insulin, and they were diagnosed at age 55. So now we need to look for diabetes. So we're going to scroll up here until we find diabetes. There's diabetes neuropathy. So we need to check if they have neuropathy, then that's important to note. If they have insulin, or if they have gout, gestational diabetes, or just diabetes, oral medication only. Okay. So this is row 70. We're going to look under Living Promise, and it says if they were diagnosed after the age of 45 with pills only, they'll be accepted. If they were diagnosed after the age of 45 with insulin, they'll be accepted. If they were diagnosed before the age of 45, they're graded. So we don't want to do graded. We want to avoid that at all possible. So looks like if they were diagnosed at age 55, they're only on oral medication, they're going to be accepted. So we did our 2 things. We wanted to make sure that they're accepted by both under Living Promise, and they are. Now, if they're not, if one of them's not accepted, then the client is going to be declined. Okay. If any of these are a no, the carrier will decline. So you need to make sure that you're keeping a lookout for that. So if that's a no, then you just look at the next one. So we look at American Amicable. We look at American Amicable, Dignity Solutions. This is right here, row D. So we look at the same thing. These guys are over the age of 35, so they'd be accepted. So you just keep going down the list and make sure that all of them are a green light with the carrier before moving forward. Now, what we're going to do is we're good with Mutual of Omaha. So we're going to go back to SFG Quotes. We're going to click on Mutual of Omaha, which is MU. You're going to choose Living Promise. That's their critical period. We'll just do their state. We said they were 65 years old, male. And now we're going to run some quotes. So their monthly mortgage payment is $1,000 a month. And we want to make sure that the middle option is around $100 a month. So I like to start with the year. So to pay the mortgage every month for a year, it's going to take $12,000. 1,000 multiplied by 12 months. So I run the quote, and I see where we are. So this is at $67. So that's not bad. That's under the 10%. So we'll keep that in our back pocket. Let's look at what it is for 18 months. That's going to be 99. So that's right around 100. So that's a good middle option. So we've got a 12-month option. We have a 1.5 year option, and then let's look at 24,000 for 2 years. And that's 131. So I would take all three of those quotes and I will take them to the client's appointment. I will run through the script, and these are going to be the three options I tell them at the end. Now, if they don't qualify for Mutual of Omaha, you're going to do the same thing for whatever carrier they do qualify for. And this is critical period. Now, the art in this is the explanation. So make sure you are leaning into the script. The big part is if something happened to John, this is going to pay the mortgage every month for Susie for either a 1.5 years, or 2 years. So she doesn't have to worry about a mortgage payment for that period of time. That's for most people their biggest bill. So it wipes it out. She doesn't have to worry about it. And she can focus on what she's going to do with the house. If she's going to keep it, if she's going to sell it, whatever it is, if she's going to refinance, it gives her time to figure that out without pressure to have to pay the mortgage every month. That's what this does. Okay. So that's how you run critical period concept quotes. You can refer back to this at any time.